is the SicEm365 Radio postgame show. Here's Drake Toll and J.D. Pickell.
It's only right on the night where the Baylor Bears punch their ticket to the Final Four. For the first time in modern history, folks, consider it done. The Baylor Bears still dancing, still alive, and while they're not going to Indianapolis, they're staying in Indianapolis. Tonight, the Bears dance and dance their way into the national semifinal against Houston this weekend. I wasn't alive for it. You weren't alive for it. Nope. Our parents weren't alive for it. Baylor, for the first time in modern history, is going to the Final Four, still dancing with an 81-72 win against the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Baylor Nation, history. Consider it made tonight. Take a deep breath and live this moment.
Do not stop the music, because Cinderella is still dancing. This glass slipper is fitting, and fitting it is. It's not midnight yet. It might be midnight over here in a few minutes, actually. We got about 45 minutes till midnight in Waco, but I guarantee you it's not struck midnight on this Baylor Bears team. How about it, huh? Wow. We're alive for it. Wow. 71 years. Wow. It's been too long. We've missed you, Final Four. Come on back. Let's do this thing real next weekend.
We're live here in the Penny Clinic Low T Bears Den. 254-339-112 is the call-in line. You can call us or text us your immediate reactions. Baylor is in the Final Four. Punch their ticket to play Houston this upcoming weekend in Indianapolis. I'm Drake Toll. That's J.D. Pickell, Armstrong Sims. We're live on multiple platforms. Find the one that works best for you. We're on Roku. We're on Roku right now.
On Roku.
Watch on the TV. Call us, text us, 254-339-1122 as we recap the biggest win. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it right now.
Call it.
This is the biggest win in Baylor basketball history.
It is.
On top of Arkansas, 81-72. The calls are piling up in our queue right now. What a game. What a game.
Roll, man.
Baylor up by as much as 18 in the first half, climbed on top of Arkansas, 46-38 at halftime. Granted, things got tight there for a second. A 4-point game in the second half when Maceo Teague says, Miss Barbara, this one's for you. Drained a three-pointer. Arkansas comes back, makes it tight again, and Maceo Teague says, Mama, how about another one? Drains a second
Long
one.
distance.
Maceo Teague, the one that put Baylor over the edge tonight. They notched the win in Indianapolis, 81-72. Immediate reactions. I mean, how do you form a cognitive sentence?
Yeah, that's a great
after
question.
a game like that?
I mean, first of all, we're all freaking wired right now in the studio. I think we have a collective 900 milligrams of caffeine pulsating throughout all of our veins.
This is 1,000 for the day.
That's 1,000. That's 1,000. I think Armstrong is just doing pre-workout through the nostril last time we checked, but obviously he's back running the mothership. Man, where do you even start? Where do you even start? I think the biggest thing that I loved, the killer instinct. We talked about it. If Baylor, I mean, we said it, I think maybe 5 minutes left in the game, we said if Baylor wins this game, I think you said it well, they have to hit the red button. And they hit the red button, man. They let Arkansas kind of climb back into the game a couple times, but when it mattered most, we said it all the time, there's a time to play and a time to win. And this Baylor team took that next step. The killer instinct, there was a blood in the water moment where Baylor continued to frenzy, finished the job, man. I mean, you got to be so happy for this team, so proud of this team. And they're still dancing, man. They're still dancing. I think the grit really showed. Maceo Teague played his best ball tonight. It was raining from deep. I'm going to go ahead and check what it was for three for the whole team. They were 8 for 15 from three. 53% beyond the arc, man. That's stupid. You're not losing the game. You shoot 53% beyond the arc. So excited for this team. Wow. They're going to give Houston a run for their money.
Wow, it's tough to fathom. Baylor's now one game away from a national championship. Everybody said that this Baylor team is maybe the best in the country. They're going to get there.
Yep.
But here they are. Baylor into the Final Four. You got to win them. You got to win 4 games to even get there. And they got there. They did it tonight. On the phone line, Stephen from Virginia is our very first caller tonight. Stephen from Virginia.
It's only right.
It is 12:07 local time for you, my friend, and the Baylor Bears are going to the Final Four.
I have to be honest. I'm kind of numb. I'm not really sure if this is real. Have y'all confirmed? Y'all saw that too, right? This is real. This is really happening right now.
This is happening.
Oddly enough, we saw it probably later than anybody else. The TV in the studio is about 6 minutes behind the actual live
even more sweet.
We saw it. I'm pretty sure we saw it.
What if we woke up right now?
Gosh,
that'd be dark. That'd be
I
dark.
can't even say that right now.
Steven,
I want to know, you've been a Bear fan for so long. You were at the game that Baylor lost to UNLV in the 90s, which is a weird thing to bring up right now, but it juxtaposes so well to this moment. What does this mean? I mean, not only is this history, but this coming on the back of Baylor for so many years being in the doldrums in the athletic world, the athletic realm. Here they are in men's basketball over the hump. Is this just, are you speechless or emotional? What is going through your mind right now?
I think it would definitely be both. I thought I was going to have so much clever stuff to say, and I really, right now, it's hard. I'm sure, anybody who's been a fan of the program long enough to be around for things like the late 90s and early 2000s would say that this is unbelievably believable. Sometimes when RG3 says things, it still sticks with you. And I've said this before, Coach Drew is such a wonderful fit for this program and the way that he gives off huge youth pastor vibes and then comes out and creams you. And I also, the game that I go back to with this program is because I try not to remember Dave Bliss and any of that because I just try to put that on the other side of my mind. What I really remember the most is losing to Kevin Durant in the Big 12 quarterfinals in 2007. And I've tried to find pictures from that game. I've tried to find commentary on that game. All I can find is a box score. So y'all have to go off my memory and know that Baylor was up 20 at half, and Kevin Durant had 25 to 30 in the second half, and the Bears lost. And to get from there to here is really, really amazing. And, this program, I've been treating this whole tournament in a celebration sort of way because no matter how good the recruiting classes is and no matter how much the facts are that Baylor is taking a step in front of the University of Texas along with Texas A&M to be the top athletic programs in this state, and that they have the financial backing and that they have shiny new facilities. And it's just such a 180-degree turnaround from where it used to be. And that's really, they used to have horrible, facilities and nobody wanted to go there. And, most of the players who they could get were transfers, and there was a reason why they didn't want to be where they were. And it's very fulfilling to get here. And I got to tell you that, I've seen championships in other sports, but this one might mean more to me than anything that I've ever, in sports that I've ever, really felt. And a quick bit about the game, because I feel like I've taken up some time,
hey, you're living in the moment like the rest of us.
Rock and roll.
I really feel like this game reminded me of the game they played against Kansas before the COVID break when they played at home. Kansas covered late or whatever, but it really felt like Baylor was in control the whole time.
They fought it out.
Kansas, Baylor got up early, and then Kansas never really had it for them. They got it close, and then, these games have been so good for them because they've been tested and they pull away late.
Found a way.
And it's wonderful, man. It's just wonderful. And the last thing I want to say to y'all is, this is a little bit for JD, but this is for everybody out there. I had a friend of mine, and she told me that I was too into Baylor. And I have to say, I only love my Bears and up-tempo. I'm sorry. Later, guys.
Hey,
thanks for your call,
that's
Steven.
for everybody. That's for everybody. That's the whole up-tempo gang, Baylor Nation. Only loves his Bears and his mama. Nothing to be sorry about.
It's tough to think about for those that aren't in Waco necessarily, and those even listening in Waco tonight. Baylor in the Final Four for the first time. The last time Baylor was on a scale like this, folks that were in college would be 88, 90 years old. This is tonight history made for those that are still living, for the most part, those that are still Baylor fans, living in the doldrums, growing up with Baylor basketball, maybe that wasn't at its peak, and now this isn't even the climax. God, the best part of this The most poetic part of this is that Baylor still dances this weekend. As the high that you're riding right now, you're going to see the video of Scott Drew in the locker room. You're going to see the video of the team celebrating postgame, cutting the nets, wearing the hats and the T-shirts. But the best part about this is that if any point in time the thought crossed your mind in the second half, this is the last 20 minutes of Baylor basketball that I watched this season, you were wrong.
You were wrong.
Baylor plays again this weekend in the Final Four.
You were so, and I'm so glad Stephen from Virginia said it. This fan base, not just from basketball, from a whole athletic standpoint, has suffered for so many years. And the part that's beautiful about this, a lot of times when teams make it to the Final Four and have such a drought of success within their programs, especially basketball, you see several coaches, right? You see several guys that are standing on each other's shoulders to eventually get to this point. It was Scott Drew the entire time. He saw this thing from the absolute pit of despair to what is now going to be a Final Four berth for the first time in 71 years. And that man deserves every freaking bit of credit due his way because, I mean, he built this program. He built what Baylor basketball is right now. Could not be more excited for him. And
Lifelong
it is poetic.
contract.
He is poetic. You get build a statue now.
Jack Wheeler on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Jack, man, I know we're keeping these calls as short as we can. He's got a lot of folks trying to call in right now, but what do you got for me?
Yeah, I don't think there are words to describe how happy I am right now.
The emotion.
I mean, I had happy tears flowing. I mean, because 11 years ago today, we made our first Elite Eight ever. I was there at that game. I had no idea Baylor was going to be the place I was going. Still wasn't a charge, but enough about that. We finally did it. It's been one of the best stories in college basketball ever. I can't wait for the 30 for 30 to come out in the next 10 years of just this the best rebuild in college basketball history. I'll leave it from there. And to leave it off before I go, the Lady Bears were robbed today, but we don't need to go into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Guys.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Jack, thanks for your call, man. This is huge. And to know that you were emotional, I speak for all of us in saying the emotions from a win like that. For me, I didn't grow up in those years where Baylor was in. We keep using that phrase, the doldrums of college basketball. Yeah. I've been able to see Baylor in kind of the apex of where they've been as a program, but now to get over the hump. Years. Scott Drew can't coach.
Yep.
Scott Drew can't go. He can't get over the hump this season. We heard it this March Madness. Baylor out to North Carolina, out to Wisconsin. Scott Drew can't coach. He proved him wrong.
Absolutely unbelievable. The way that the Scott Drew can't coach campaign took a fatal blow tonight. I mean, if you think Scott Drew can't coach, watch that basketball game back.
Yeah,
call in 254-339-1122.
Call
text the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Man, because there is no longer a case for that. There's no room for that kind of slander here. In terms of emotion, it was a borderline riot going on in this studio between the three of us, Armstrong, Drake, myself. It was unbelievable the amount of emotion. And Armstrong and I aren't even in school here anymore.
No. Yeah. I was recording it all too, secretly.
Wow.
Oh, did you? Okay. I love that. I love that. Well, I can't wait to watch that back.
We got, looks like Chris here says Baylor to the Final Four. Hey, caller, you're on the Impact Health Labs caller line. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Unbelievable game.
Hey,
Huge win.
It's kind of bittersweet, though, not seeing the women get in today. It was a bad call at the end. No call. It's good to see Baylor is the epicenter of basketball in the state and college.
In the country.
You really think about it over the last decade, men and women.
Yeah.
Country.
It's unfinished business, though. For them, I don't know. It is exciting to see them make it to the Final Four. And even to see them play Houston, old Southwest Conference rival.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Kelvin
which
Sampson.
is gonna be even great. But what I've seen from them starting in this tournament is they're getting the bigs involved in the game, and also those point guards driving inside. And is Mitchell not the most exciting player in the tournament this year so far?
I got a text from somebody that said, hey, it was an Arkansas friend of mine, said Davion Mitchell was the best player on the floor tonight, that he overpowered Arkansas.
He's Gary Payton 2.0.
He is, but better,
literally.
some would
That's what
say.
he is.
I would say I maybe better on nights like tonight, showed up in big games. And then I also got a text, another Hog fan said, hey, Maceo Teague has the single weirdest shot that I've seen. But it goes. It goes. And that's what Baylor needed tonight. Tell me, is it emotional for you? I mean, how do you feel right now seeing Baylor cut down the nets?
I mean, I've lived in Central Texas my whole life. watched the Bears when they played at the Farrell Center. When they were nothing. They were nothing. I've seen it when they got a little bit better when they had Skinner come in, and then as they built up this team, this program over the last few years. But it's exciting. It's exciting to see both programs do what they do. And this team, it's sad this team didn't get to play last year in the tournament. That's the worst part.
Yeah, Chris, you mentioned it. The play from the bigs tonight, all year long, it's been, if Baylor gets, more play from their bigs, they'll be unstoppable. Chama Chachua, that was not an everyday John you saw. That was once in a blue moon John, who is playing his best basketball right now when it matters the absolute most. I mean, 3 for 3. 3 for 3 from the field, 8 points. You get that from him, you're not losing a game the rest of the way in this tournament. That was the difference maker, along with Davion Mitchell and Maceo Teague's play, but absolutely unbelievable tonight.
Hey, caller, thanks for your call, man. That means a lot to know how much this meant to you. Wow, another good one. How about this little T-Rex action? Hey, T-Rex, we got him loaded up right here. What do you got for us? Keeping it quick.
Hey, Final Four. You hear it, you feel it, you smell it, you can taste it. My plane leaves at 3:45 p.m. from Dallas Love Field on Thursday afternoon. And I'm coming to Indy, and there ain't a damn thing in the world that's going to stop me with the Baylor Bears from striking down the little Cougars from the little cesspool we call Houston, Texas. I'm so pumped. Oh, my goodness. I just polished off what's last of my vodka bottle here. Guess I need to go on a run. Oh, my goodness. Man, all seriousness, though. Wow, guys. Wow. It's been such a long road coming. I remember Scott Drew comes, scandal, all that crap. Post-game, or there's a press conference. They're asking him about the fact that we can't play any non-conference games his first year because of the probation. He responds, well, I guess we'll start the conference schedule undefeated. It took this many years to build this program, but who cares how long it took? Who cares about Duke 2010? Who cares about the NIT second round loss a few years ago? Because the only thing that matters is the Houston Cougars
erase it
Saturday night. That's all that matters. Houston, Saturday night. And shout out to Arkansas. Great game. Shout out to the Zebras. Way to ruin a great game. But, man, I'm trying not to tear up here. I'm in my office and surrounded by all this Baylor memorabilia. And, I'm thinking about my dad and how much this means to him. I wish he could be here for it. Because taking me to games and we were getting blown out, man, I'm just so excited. And you know what? I said at the beginning of the year, if we ain't hanging a Final Four banner, then it's all for nothing. Conference championships are cool and all. Kansas has 15 of them, and they got knocked out by freaking USC. They can have the conference championship. I'm glad to hang that banner, but now we got a better banner to hang up. Look at Tech. They get recruits because they went to the Final Four. Think about what we can do now with a Final Four banner.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness, Baylor Nation. I hope I see every single one of you that can make it on Saturday. Man, it's just, wow. God, just inject this energy into these veins, and let's continue to fulfill this prophecy, Baylor Nation.
Baby, let's go.
Clear out some space in the rafters.
I appreciate you participating, Cougars. I appreciate Houston coming to play on Saturday. Don't buy your tickets. It ain't worth your trip. Stay in Houston. Keep covering yourselves in the smell of burning crude oil. That's all you're good for. SicEm Bears, man. Let's go. I better see you two do an up-tempo live
tomorrow
afternoon, Friday morning at 11 o'clock. I'll hope you're there. Come on, SicEm Bears.
Love it, T-Rex. Hey, we'll be live on Up Tempo tomorrow at 11 a.m. talking about all things Baylor, men's basketball after the win today. Let's get a couple more of these callers. I mean, we got 61 callers on right
Clip
now.
is loaded, baby.
We got 61 callers.
Clip is loaded.
I believe it.
We're backed up by 61 callers. Joe Frazier, you got about 7 seconds now, Joe. Give me what you got.
Hey, fellas. It's always nice to follow my boy T-Rex. I think you guys are starting to do this stuff on purpose. But, hey, I mean, there's nothing that hasn't been said already that you can't say again. I mean, I can go back to when I graduated high school right before Scott Drew came to Baylor. And then the year after, I graduated 2003. The year after, 2004, he's there. He's making stuff happen. And he's telling everybody, hey, don't worry about it. I got this. Don't worry about it. I got this. And then, of course, you get all the, he can't coach, he can't coach. Shut up. Kick rocks, people.
Boom.
Baylor's here to stay.
Get out of here.
Scott Drew proved it.
We're here. We're done. We're at the top of the mountain. We've got 2 more games to play because we're not done yet.
Not done yet. There's a season to go.
Let's go.
There's more season.
We're not done yet. We still got some unfinished business, and we're going to go to the top. Houston's number 1 on our list.
Yeah.
And then we'll have another game after that.
Listen.
But we're going to get through Houston first. We're not going to overlook them.
You feel it?
Because we're going to take that D with us, and we're going to drive it down their throats. And we've got 4 guards that can play anywhere on the floor. I love that lineup that we finished with those 4 guards and Jonathan at the bottom.
Lethal.
Playing the 5. That was sick. I mean, Arkansas didn't know who to guard first. So, hey, my hat goes off to Scott Drew and those boys. They're bringing the D, so let's go. It's
Joe.
game on Saturday.
Thanks, Joe, man. We're right there. Final 4, right there. Thanks for your call. We got Grants.
We're burning. We're churning and burning.
Legitimately had 62 calls.
Grants, what you got for us? Gotta keep it quick.
Look, okay, Drake, you know me. I'm an Arkansas boy.
Oh.
But I got to give credit where credit is due.
To us.
Okay, that Baylor game was pretty fantastic. Both teams went in, did what they wanted to do, played dirty, played defensively.
Wow.
Baylor's just a better team. I've got to give it to them there.
There it is.
Yeah, neutral court. There's a lot going on in that one. A lot of scrappy play. Arkansas is a great team. And Muss will have those guys back there next year, but it was the Baylor Bears tonight. Grant, you got Baylor winning it all, I guess.
I've got to say, I had the winner of that game making it to the championship. None of them had Baylor winning it all, though. It was either Arkansas or Zaga.
Okay, well,
Cold
I got
take.
Baylor winning it all.
Cold take.
You'll see. You had Arkansas in this game, I bet, too. Hey, Grant, thanks for your call, man.
See ya.
Do we even have time to say stuff after these callers, or are we just rolling?
We're
just
rolling.
rocking and rolling.
We drop one call and 0.5 seconds another one.
Here we go.
We only have 5 slots to line.
Cam,
do it.
Keep calling.
Yeah, Cam, how you feeling?
We'll
you said, emotional. How you feeling?
Good. I feel like we played very good in the first half, and then in the second we kind of slowed a little bit, but we finished it off with the dub and moving on to the Final Four.
That's right. Hey, what's your name, ma'am?
Cam.
Cam, I got it right. Hey, Cam, I got to know, in Baylor's performance tonight, who do you think the best player was? Who was the guy that got it done for Baylor that you really liked?
On the offensive side of the ball, Davion Mitchell. On the defensive side, I'd probably go with Matthew Meyer. He was locked down. He didn't give up anything free. He forced a lot of turnovers and trapped the ball down the baseline.
Cam, how old are you?
13.
Cam, that is the most accurate analysis I have heard out of the mouth of anyone 20 years old or enough.
Cam, you got to stop, man. You're going to take one of our jobs.
Cam,
and keep this
get
thing
up here.
bro.
This seat is yours. Thanks for calling, Cam.
Where do you go to school?
Smithfield Middle School in Hearst.
In Hearst. How about it? So, you got to go to school tomorrow morning, right? That's what, 8 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, it's a late night for you, my friend. It's a late night for you. Hey, thanks for calling our show, though. Listen, it's so worth it. You're going to wake up tired tomorrow, but you're going to wake up a fan of a Final Four team. How about that?
Yes, sir.
I love it. Hey, Cam, thanks for your call, man. What do you got?
I want to get his address. DM one of us on Twitter. I want to send Cam something.
Oh, let's send him a T-shirt.
I'll send him something. I'll send you something, Cam.
Yeah, Cam, you let us know where we can send you a T-shirt.
Don't say it on air. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Follow one of us on Twitter. We'll get you a shirt.
No, thanks again for your call, Cam. That was awesome.
All right. What's the Twitter?
You?
At JD Pickell, JDPICKELL, or at Drake Toll TOLL.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
You got it. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
There it is.
Cam, thanks again, man. Celebrate big tonight.
All right.
Oh, awesome.
Cam. I love Cam.
Baylor fans, young and old.
I hope he makes a Twitter just for this.
From T-Rex to Cam, we got. This looks like Jonathan, but the caller Q has it as El Mariachi, and I think I like that better. What's going on, man? Thanks for calling the show tonight.
Hey guys, man, I'm just gonna pile on like everyone else, but the thing I wanted to say, this is for me personally. It's a real emotional moment for me. I was a junior, I guess, in 2003, and I played pickup basketball with Pat Dennehy and Carlton Dodson and Archie Gwynn and Matt Saman at the Slick.
Wow.
And I vividly remember getting the email from the president's office saying, hey, has anybody seen Pat? Nobody's talked to him for a while. Wow. Long story short, with everything that happened and with Scott Drew coming in, that was obviously a real tough situation, especially, speaking for all the students on campus around that time. And, when Coach Drew came in, it was tough. And I'm trying to not get emotional thinking about it because, I'm a basketball guy at heart. I knew Dave Bliss personally. And so this to get to where we are today from where we started, it's incredible. And the craziest part is that we got more to go. I expect us to be playing Gonzaga and beating that rear end and, putting the cherry on top. This is a great feeling. I've been waiting for this for, a long time. So golly, it feels great.
Man, Jonathan, right? Am I right in saying that? I get the caller line here.
That's right.
Jonathan, I want to let you know, when it comes to Baylor Gonzaga, and we talk about this on the Daily Show on Uptempo at 11, and I want you to know, when it comes to Gonzaga, it's a program that's been to the Elite Eight, the Sweet 16, over and over and over in the last decade, and they haven't gotten over that hump. When it comes to national championship games, Final Fours, they haven't gotten over that hump. Now Baylor, facing them in the national championship game, a program, you talked about it, that has faced adversity for the last 2 decades. Scott Drew is not the third coach since the scandal, the third coach since everything went haywire in the early 2000s. This guy was there. He knows what that is like, and I can guarantee you he's preaching that in the locker room, and I can guarantee you Gonzaga doesn't have that on their back right now, using that as fuel for the rest of the tournament. Thank you for your call and bringing that up, because I'll tell you what, that's going to give Baylor an edge when the thing comes down to Baylor Gonzaga in the national championship.
And Scott Drew is a guy that, honestly, he didn't owe Baylor anything. What Baylor was when he got here and what he's built it to, he fulfilled his debt to Baylor University a long time ago. He could have jumped ship and said, hey, I brought him back to neutral. They're competitive again. I paid my debt to Baylor. I did what I came here to do. Yeah. And he has exceeded any expectation I think anyone had for him when he took over this program. What was it, 17 years ago now? So, hats off to him. I could not be happier for anyone more than I am happy for Scott Drew.
Jonathan, thank you so much for calling us.
Thanks, guys. Sick and Bears.
Thanks, John.
Absolutely. How about Matt in D.C.? Matt in D.C. Got to follow up a couple of good ones here. Matt, NBC, Final Four. Oh, Matt in D.C.
Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
It's unbelievable. I feel like I'm going to wake up from a dream. I don't know if it's the 1,000 milligrams of caffeine that are coursing through my veins right now, or if it's the fact that Baylor's actually going to the Final Four, Matt in D.C.
Still dancing.
I'm still dancing.
Hey, guys. We did it. Yeah. We did it. No matter what anyone ever says. Hey, and a shout out to my boy Joe. I went to La Vega with him. We were both seniors in 2003. After I was living in Waco when the scandal happened, but I'm not even going to focus on that. Hey, when Scott Drew came, I'll never forget his first press conference. He said, Baylor can win a national championship at this school. And you know what? It took a lot longer than we thought. Never thought it happened, but we did it. We did it. My brother T-Rex, all the years of sitting in the Farrell Center, just dreaming. Look, we were always looking at that banner. It said 1948 runner-up, 1950 Final Four, and now we're sitting here back in the Final Four, gentlemen. How amazing is this?
Wow. It's unbelievable to know. Here's the deal. Armstrong is in studio with us, too. Armstrong's been a fan of a Final Four team multiple times.
Yes.
National championship team.
The most Final Fours, actually, ever.
That's true.
But this right here is different because
so different.
Baylor's not experienced this since everybody that's called in's been alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Think about Cam. Cam's 13.
Yep.
Cam's 13-year-old Baylor fan that gets to grow up with a Baylor team like this is unbelievable. Yeah. Matt in D.C., I'm sure you're just elated.
Exactly. It's insane. I don't even know to say so, but I want to keep it real short because I know we got so many callers coming on with this up-tempo. You guys are running it there, so I'll just say this. Hey, this is amazing. Let's keep it going. We just beat Arkansas. We bounced them back to Fayetteville. Hey, that's fine. Take you and just go back to Arkansas. It's fine. Southwest Conference, because I'm sure the SEC has worked out so great for you. You know what? So when you want to rejoin the Big 12, give us a call because we're thriving. That being said, let's go beat those Houston Cougars. Let's keep it going. And I mean, hey, win by one, baby. Don't worry about Gonzaga. Win by one. And I'll talk to you in 12 hours. Hell.
I can't wait.
Good night.
Matt, soak this in, Matt.
Good night.
Matt,
Waco. Good night.
you earned this, Matt in DC. Soak this in. It sounds like he has soaked it in. I love that.
For me
I
a
love
drink,
that.
bartender.
Man, I mean, for the Matt and DCs, for the Stephen from Virginias, for the T-Rexes, for the Cams, everybody is coming out of the woodworks tonight. All the Baylor faithful, they have earned it. Enjoy this. Call our show. Let's talk about it.
How about Don? Don's called the show before. Don, you are the proud fan of a Final Four basketball team. When you hear those words, what comes to mind?
Oh my gosh, really? Let me take you down memory lane. Back in '78, the junior college all-star game was played at Midway High School. Benny Johnson was on that team.
Benny Johnson.
Benny Johnson. I was like a sophomore at Midway. So what I did to get into the games to watch Benny play at Baylor, I sold cold drinks just to get in the game. And this was in a barn, the Hard Texas Coliseum, the barn, where they played at back in the day. Man, it was, this is an unbelievable moment for people like myself who just grew up a Baylor fan. And watching all these great players from Benny Johnson to Michael Williams, Middleton. I mean, that's on and on and on. Just to see this happen, man, it's freaking amazing. Let me tell you something else. Cam, let's give a shout out to his parents.
Yes.
Yeah. That kid is articulate.
Unbelievable.
And what he said was very impressive. And the fact that his parents let him stay up late and take a phone call, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah. He's taking my job for sure.
But man, I tell you what, I had to call in. This is an amazing show. I was shocked when it popped up on my iPhone, about the SicEm365. And y'all had a call-in show. I said, all right, I'm going to call in. I must have called him 20 times. Wow. It was busy.
Wow.
So
I was shocked, too.
This is amazing. Just for people like me who've watched Baylor all these years. Just watching Vinny play back in the day. And I wouldn't sell cold drinks, by the way. I'd just go in there and just watch the game, of course. But man, this is an awesome moment for, every Baylor fan. It's great. It's great.
Unbelievable. Hey, Don, this is for fans like you and fans like Cam. It's for everybody, Don. Thanks for calling the show.
Oh, you bet. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
appreciate
my
it.
I love that. You got Don, you got Cam, you got T-Rex, everything in between.
Jeez.
Baylor Nation, man.
I mean, I can't believe. And the fact that, this moment, everybody, we all get to be here for this, you know? I mean, there are people out there that spent their whole lives rooting for Baylor, and then this is the shining moment. And then there are those of us that didn't make it to this moment. And there's so much emotion in that. The fact that the amount of Baylor fans that followed this team religiously for life. I mean, come on.
It's all over. The memorabilia is all over.
Come on.
I don't know who
Butch
that
Henry.
is on there. What did that say?
Butch Henry.
Henry. B. Henny.
A guy like that, look at that. So 1939. He was born in 1939.
Talk to me.
And the last time Baylor went to these links, he was 11 years old.
Golly, that's quick math by you.
He waited whole life for a moment like this, rooting for the Bears just almost religiously, and a guy that followed the Bears so consistently for so long. I mean, these are moments for guys like that.
Yeah, and Baylor family has, I think the program itself has done a great job with bringing everybody else along with them, whether you're on the team, on the roster or not. It's felt the entire time like this community, this Baylor Nation, has been in the foxhole with this team the whole way, from COVID to, will they be able to even have enough games to win the Big 12? Tough draw in terms of, playing Wisconsin, North Carolina in the second round. Everything just time and time again, even before that we've covered that ad nauseum, the adversity that's faced this program throughout the years. But, you said it very articulately. For guys like Butch Henry, for guys that have been around this program and been rooting for Baylor, been in the foxhole, this is for all of them. This is for everybody.
Butterfly effects, man. Folks like 100%. that were right there for so long. And although they may have not seen Baylor get over that hump, it's fans like that that drove this program to where they are today, that drove Scott Drew and company where they are today. How about this? We got, who we got here? Caller from Dallas waiting 13 years for this moment. Talk to us.
I love this.
Guys, hey, Michael from Dallas here.
Michael, what's going on?
Again, 13 years. This started all back in 2008. I was a freshman at Baylor. I watched that's where the tide turned for the program in my eyes. The Curtis Geralds, Henry Dugas, watching those teams make it to the NIT. Fast forward when I was at school there, watching that first grade Elite Eight team with Tweety Carter and Quincy Acey and the like. Shout out to them. This game goes to them as well, for the guys that paved the way. I was in person, over in Reliance Stadium in Houston when they had that tough loss against Duke. I watched them lose to another national championship in Kentucky in 2012. But I tell you what, we're not losing to another future champion, because we will be the future champion here in 2021. How about that?
I love it. And they've got a legitimate shot to do it now, moving into the Final Four against a good Houston team. Houston's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. That said, man, I mean, you're right there on the cusp of doing this thing. Folks said it was going to happen. This was quote-unquote expected, but they're right here, no promises, and they've got a shot at it. They got a shot at it. Hey, Michael, what else you got for us here real quick? We got Ashley Hodge on the line.
Oh, love it.
I just want to say that myself and Richard, who's one of your longtime callers, we're both brothers. We're looking into it. We're going to make it our way to Indianapolis. I hope to see.
There we go.
I hope to see a good Baylor turnout there. And let's make it loud. Sic 'em Bears.
How about it?
Gonna be there. Thanks for calling, Michael.
All these years, Baylor has been the little guy, right? In the Big 12, they've been the little brother. They've been developmenting a rebuild year. Not anymore, folks. Baylor is the top dog, and they are getting everything that has been afforded to them year after year. It is a revenge tour for Baylor that has been long overdue, and it's coming to Indianapolis.
Ashley Hodge is on the Impact Health Labs call line. Ashley, a Baylor analyst who we were expecting. Oh, my goodness. Expecting to join the show tonight to help us break this thing down. Ashley, I got a question for you. And I know you're excited. I'm sure you've had plenty prepared, but I got a question for you. You have covered this Baylor squad as an analyst and someone that's followed this team so closely at a third-party outlet, right? That started from the ground up. And now, from a post-game show to complete wraparound coverage from yourself with podcasts, radio shows, articles, to Jason King and what he's doing, an afternoon show on the radio, to where SicEm365 has gotten thanks to you. What does this mean to you full circle?
It's a special moment. It's so surreal. I can't really put the emotions into words right now. I'll give you just a couple glimpses of what I saw and talking to people in the audience today. I saw Karen Aston in tears. That's Scott Drew's long-term assistant, secretary, the person that, has been there from the very beginning. And Bill Peterson's wife was with her. And just tears of joy, seeing Homer and I'm forgetting Homer's wife's name off the top of my head, but Jake Lindsey, Dennis Lindsey. I mean, so many former basketball players were in attendance. I mean, just elation. So many hardcore fans that lived through the Blish years, the Harry Miller years, the Gene Iba years before that, and to watch them, just overwhelmed with joy. It was a special sight, and of course, the first words out of the Baylor players' mouths in the post-game talks were, giving credit to each other, giving credit to God, just talking about what a joy it is to play with each other. It's a special team. It's a special staff, special coach, special culture, and I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled for Scott because, this is always, for a coach, it's just a big monkey to have on your back. And to be able to accomplish this and just have that legitimacy of being a Final Four coach, he deserves it. I mean, it's just a terrific honor. And I think I wouldn't count against this team. There's going to be some tough games ahead. Obviously, Houston's going to be a war. I think Ken Palm already has that 72-71. But, I mean, we got the best backcourt in the nation. And I like what I saw from Jonathan tonight. I thought he gave us some great minutes.
So good.
Matt was great in spurts.
Yeah.
Obviously, Maceo was huge. And just a team win. I mean, great performance.
Wow. And Ashley, you have a pulse on this team like I think pretty much no other analyst has having family members of players for post-game shows. I mean, they were essentially analysts alongside yourself. With the pulse that you have on this program.
Dinner with the Butlers. I mean, had dinner with Richard and Wendy at Butler.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't be more thrilled with what has happened. I mean, it's amazing.
And obviously the job's not finished, but for a guy like Scott Drew, what does this mean to him?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there's so many memories, going through his mind right now. I mean, just the struggles and the effort and time that he put into those early years to build this program to get it to where it is. Yeah. And just to see the culmination of that effort. I mean, it's relief, it's joy, it's excitement. His wife was standing in front of us, just to watch her emotions as they were cutting down the net. You talked about the alternative team. They named the alternative team while we were there, and it was Asmus, is that how you pronounce his name, from Oral Roberts, and it was Kate from Arkansas, and then our three guards, Maceo, Butler, and then David Mitchell was the most valuable player in the South region.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that Scott, I know his mindset. I know him well enough to say that he's probably like, what's next? I want a national championship.
Yeah.
I want to build a monster program. I want multiple national championships. I mean, that's the challenge. And he's the type that's always looking ahead. Yeah. And, it's a cliche, but the journey is better than the destination. This is just a magical moment for him in the program.
Wow. Ashley, soak it up, man. Soak it up. This is a night for not just, your Scott Drews, the team and the fans out there, but for guys like us that are following him and a guy like you that's followed him for a long time and loved him for a long time, man. It makes me so happy to know that Baylor's there, but it also makes me happy for those that have waited so long for this, and you're one of those guys. Ashley, just congrats to you, man.
We got a bottle of Waco's finest Balcones that we're gonna share and have a celebratory drink here in a second.
It's a bad night for Valcone.
Bad night.
I'm actually going to do a post-game podcast with Derek Mitchell here in a few minutes, but just to get his thoughts and hear, the emotions that he's going through.
Thanks for your call, man. Great to hear from you.
Can't wait to listen to it.
100%, Ashley. Thank you, man, for everything. We got Andrew Robertson on the line here.
Golly.
You go from a guy like Ashley that's followed him for so long to Andrew, who's a sophomore at Baylor. Andrew, you got to be excited, man, no?
What is up, boys? This has been an experience watching the show, calling in. I'm hyped to bring the electricity. I'm hyped to watch the show. It was a great notification to receive on my phone. And, man, I'm just pumped right now. I'm already looking ahead to Houston. It's a Houston hate week. And I'm just excited.
All my homies hate Houston.
Man, Andrew, thanks for calling in and bringing us some heat. I want to ask you this. I think all year long we've talked about Baylor hasn't put together a complete game. If Baylor can take the next step, they'll be a national title contender. Did Baylor take that next step in your mind tonight with how they finished this game?
I thought that this game was going to be a 40-point blowout in the first half of the first half. I thought this game was over. We were shooting lights out. We were playing great defense. And I think it could have been our best complete game if we wouldn't have gotten into such crazy foul trouble so early. Mm-hmm. I felt like Mitchell coming out, I mean, he was the spark tonight, and we had to take him out so early into the first half, which sucked. And then, Vital had 4, and he fouled out on that whack 3-point call. But, I think if we wouldn't have had to worry about fouls and substituting guys in, that this could have been the game. We're peaking at the right time. I'm so hyped for next week.
I'm not going to sleep. I'm not leaving.
Not on this.
Baylor said, I'm not leaving. They said, you got to get out of Indianapolis. You guys, if you lose, you got to leave the bubble. I said, I'm not leaving.
I got to stay a little bit longer.
Not freaking leaving.
Well, Kobe said, job's not finished. GW tweeted at me, said, hey, job's not finished.
Job's not finished.
They said, why aren't you smiling? Job's not finished.
Andrew, thanks for calling the show and waiting so long, man. It's good to hear from you.
Of course, guys.
Go.
See you soon.
We love you.
Sick and Bears. How about hey, the call lines are starting to open up a little bit for those that they were. So what it was, 69 different people called this show. Nice. Real number. 69 different people called this show and got busy signals over the course of the last 40 minutes.
Man, thank you.
40 minutes. This is for you guys.
And thank you to people that wanted to spend their time after the biggest win in arguably Baylor athletics history. They want to call in and talk to us and hear what we have to say and put it on the air. So thank you for that.
I saw
we love y'all.
King Pharaoh on here. calling in. I don't know. King Pharaoh. Somebody. That's a double whammy.
Pharaoh.
That's squared. That is squared. It's ruler squared.
Probably
official squared.
Dual citizenship.
I tweeted in Arabic tonight.
I saw that. So that was great.
I want to taste the tears of pigs or something.
It was very good.
It was good. It was good. How about it? So call us 254-339-1122. This is the part of the show where we get to the Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. And I tell you what, I've already been emotional. Coming off of this win, just for me, seeing this, and for us, really, because you get a very similar perspective of younger Baylor fans, on the younger side of folks we've talked to that have followed this team for so long, and guys that I go to Baylor.
Yeah.
I'm a sophomore at a university that's in the Final Four. Yeah. There are 4 teams. Right. There are 4 teams in the Final Four every year, and not even last year. Every year. Only 4 schools, students from 4 schools can say, my team's in the Final Four. I'm watching my school in the Final Four.
I was going to say, what does it mean to someone like you who is so a part? I mean, you are honestly, in a lot of ways, you're synonymous with Baylor culture. I mean, class president, involved in the Greek life, have your own radio show. Like, what does this mean to someone like you who's aware of the past for Baylor, but also understands where we're headed?
Our radio show.
The radio.
Man, it's crazy. I didn't grow up a Baylor fan, A1, but Baylor became my dream school. Armstrong's the same way. And I think you can speak to the fact that.
Oh, I used to hate Baylor.
Right. And then you grow into, you attend the college and the just that feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Because people kept asking me, hey, you grew up in Arkansas. You rooting for Arkansas tonight?
Yeah.
It was no question.
I asked you that.
It was
Probably
no
along
question.
with everybody else in the world.
It's not even because I went to school here. It's specifically Scott Drew and the program he's created and the culture around that and the guys on that court that you like them, you love them as people.
Yeah.
Not just because they were wearing the jersey.
Culture.
And you fall in love with that. And so it's an even deeper love than, say, you have in North Carolina just because you grew up being a fan. But it's like you see that, it takes it to the whole nother level.
You're right in front of it.
We've had so many callers, and I want to say maybe 1 or 2 have talked about what happened on the court. Every other caller we've had says, wow, happy for Scott Drew, happy for this program, do it the right way, the culture, we love what they're building, we love what they're doing, and it's all so much bigger than basketball. That sounds cliche to say, especially in this moment, but I think it's very real. It's very real.
Yeah,
it's a heart win.
I also got a clip of us real quick. This is when
we haven't seen this.
When Mark Vidal hits a nice putback slam. This is what happened.
Mark's back. Maceo. The tweet. I immediately pull my phone out and tweet. And I can tell you what that tweet said. Awesome. I can tell you what that tweet said when I pulled my phone out to tweet. It said ABC XZHIIZXCE.
And here's your reaction when Maceo hits a dagger 3-pointer.
Ladies, fuck it.
Let's go.
Just the full-on war cry,
dude. Nobody else in the studio besides us. Like it was a three. It was a 3-man.
I didn't know the security cameras were on.
I was like, someone above us in this apartment is going to come down.
Oh, for sure.
I just think about it in terms of how rare this is, that a lot of folks don't get to experience this. And now moving into 12:01, it's Tuesday. It's the next day, it's the day after, and it's not even sobering. Because you're still riding that. It's real. Folks for so long have waited for this, and it's real. We talked about luck. It takes so much luck to get here in March. Baylor pulled it off today, and it's for everybody in Baylor Nation.
Yeah.
The sentimental value of this goes so much further than what we saw on the court and the emotion that comes with it. I mean, if I was on the radio right now, if we were on a show right now, just the tears. Like even post-game sitting right there, just the thought of how improbable is this? That not only and I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent.
I love it. Bring it. I love it.
Think about this. For all 3 of us, guys that attended Baylor, we chose a school to go to college, right? And you can pick out of thousands in the United States. What are the odds that God puts you in a place where you're at a school the year they go to the Final Four?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't pick to go to Baylor because you were like, oh, they got great basketball.
Right.
I bet they're going to the Final Four. But still, we get to be here in the midst of that. And I think it plays into the faith aspect of Baylor and what Baylor means from a culture standpoint. And to be a part of that, there is a Baylor family. That term means so much more than you can put into words.
Yeah, and it stretches even beyond that, I think, even to Waco. I mean, we've seen the Waco community, as Baylor's grown, Waco has benefited from it. It's been almost synonymous, but I think you made a great point. The faith aspect. I mean, that makes it even that much more special to see Scott Drew and his players circling up in prayer after a game.
Yeah.
Just to see them in an interview say, you know what, to God be the glory, win or lose, to God be the glory. Jared Butler running into the hallway during whenever he fouled out, forget which game it was, and he said, I just started praying.
Yeah.
I just started praying. I mean, to have that much attention on a school and for them to deflect that attention to the creator, I mean, special stuff, man. Special stuff, and they deserve all the credit.
I want to remind you guys, we'll be live tomorrow at 11 a.m., breaking this thing down even further. We'll take more calls on the Uptempo show tomorrow as we talk about this win and what it means to the culture and the program at Baylor. Susan Peak says, I wish my mom and dad were alive to see this. On the 1950 team was a guy named Bill Warburton. He is Warburton. He is still alive in Houston. So guys like that. And for Susan, I think there are a lot of thoughts, you know? I think there are a lot of thoughts for a lot of people out there that are just, I wish that this person was here for this.
Yeah, and we heard T-Rex get emotional on a call, and I love that, man. I mean,
bittersweet,
you don't think that guy cares? A guy who's an honorary
bittersweet.
alumni, not a guy who actually attended the school, but a guy who's his whole life has been wrapped around Baylor athletics, going to games with his dad. He said it. We're sitting there in the Farrell Center. They're getting blown out, but we're staying until the very end because my dad said, hey, we're staying until the very end and wanting him to see this. I mean, this is for him, too.
This is for, everybody that's rooted for Baylor and held through Baylor in the tough times because, boy, they've been there. You know, they've been there. And the badgering that Baylor fans have gotten from other opposing programs and other fans and the little brother comments and everything that Baylor's gone through in the last couple of decades to this. Now, Baylor Bigfoot's on the line. Before we get to Baylor Bigfoot, we got some of these Riverbend Liquor and Wine texts to read you. SicEm Bears from Sammamish, Washington.
Yeah.
Sammamish. Watching out there.
That's out there.
Shout out to all. It's also like 10:04 there. Oh, how I envy you. This says, shout out to all the Baylor students who were there during the 03-04 season, from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs. Effectively the death penalty for Baylor men's basketball then. You know, it wasn't maybe as severe as the death penalty, but it really just felt like, okay, it's going to take 2 decades. 2 decades. To get things back.
That was ground zero. You're playing walk-ons. I mean, Scott Drew's trying to find guys to fill a roster. And much less, I think he had, I want to say a handful of walk-ons that were starting. And to look back at that and say, wow, those guys laid the bricks to what is now a Final Four caliber team, and to have the same coach from then to now, that is completely rare, not just in sports in general, but in life, to have the same leader throughout the rebuild to the peak of what is now going to be a Final Four team. I mean, you can't put into words how special that is.
King Power says Davion Mitchell was the key player tonight, and I think you're right. You so poetic in saying it that so few people have talked about what happened on the court.
Yeah.
You know, this is a post-game show where we're not talking about, oh, Baylor played this, Baylor did that. This is about the culture of Baylor and getting to this point. And Susan says, hey, I listen to you guys every day from Anchorage, Alaska. Wake up to you guys.
No kidding.
So wake it up in an up-tempo way. A little bit.
That's awesome.
Hey, the bell is synonymous. Girl Friday 85. Dudes, I'm sitting with my 89-year-old mother-in-law who was at Baylor in 1950. Wow. She's beyond excited. We took to San Antonio to see the women play on Saturday. She's a huge fan.
Golly. See, that stuff just gives you butterflies, man.
From Cam.
Butterfly
effects,
your grandmother,
that
was it
sticks.
It said 1950?
1950.
Dude, that is this is just so much bigger than basketball. This is special.
Matt in DC said the phone lines may be jammed for me, but who gives a damn Final Four?
I love that.
Matt in DC is on one tonight.
Amen.
Scotty B, the Baylor King, has had a lot of good input too. Says very excited for our men. Now time to focus on Houston, a former Southwest Conference rival. As for Baylor women's, the refs need to go home now, not officiate any more games. Still a good run for the women's basketball.
Scotty B's not soaking this in at all. No. Scotty B said, hey, next game.
I'm using this platform, this Final Four men's platform, to flame the referees in the women's game. That's like Twitter is just rise up to the occasion of it's time to flame.
I love it, man. I love it. It kind of feels like a family affair. Like, hey, you mess with our sister, we're gonna go ahead and talk that trash. You know, we made the Final Four. Well, you gave us a platform, and that was the wrong thing to do, NCAA.
Folks, I want to note this too. As you know, Debbie Borders Wilson says, my dad graduated from Baylor in 1950. You know, folks that oh my gosh, if you graduated Baylor in 1950, you're 22 and 50, so you're probably born in 28. So you're likely you're in your early 90s. How about this though, folks? Baylor's been seen on the national scale, football, basketball, you name it, in a negative light so many times, you know, and has been synonymous with negative things before, that the program and the culture, the community has done everything they can to right wrongs, right? And now to see Baylor on this national scale, turn on ESPN right now. Don't turn off up-tempo when you do it.
Right.
Turn on ESPN right now, Baylor. You know?
Yeah.
Turn on ESPN Radio right now, Baylor. Turn on CBS, Fox Sports. Go through Twitter. Baylor's trending right now in the best way possible.
For all of the right things.
Your school, the school that you follow, the school that you're a fan of, they're trending everywhere right now. Everyone in the country is talking about them. Everybody in the country is rooting for them to knock off Gonzaga. Nobody wants to see an undefeated team.
Nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to see that.
Even a team like, I mean, we can talk about Gonzaga. Oh, yeah, we can talk about Gonzaga all day long. Right now, all of the bullies they,
we got
you know,
Houston.
And as
personified,
insufferable,
yes.
We got Houston.
as insufferable as Arkansas Razorback fans can be, they're behind Baylor now. You know, I'm already seeing tweets that are just, hey, great game played. You know, we had a caller, hey, I'm an Arkansas fan, but Baylor's a better team. Yeah. The nation is now behind Baylor men's basketball. When's the last time you could say that? When's the last time that you could say the nation is behind Baylor men's basketball, from analysts to fans all across the country, sea to shining sea?
I mean, behind any Baylor sport. I mean, you said it so well. I mean, the way that Baylor has been synonymous with bad news, with scandals, with negativity. And now, like you said, you see the hashtag Baylor trending for all the positive things that Scott Drew's done, for the Scott Drew story, for this basketball program, and all of the just high-quality people, not just players, but high-quality people that are involved with the operation. I mean, it really is so much that was long overdue for this program to be able to have that much positive attention. I think it's poetic. It really is poetic.
Andrew says, unbelievable win, lost for words, natty time.
Golly.
Natty time.
One more before the natty.
Yeah, we
got appetizer. And they got
How
the
about
entree.
this? This says, me a Baylor grad versus my older brother who's a Houston grad. Guess who's having a sibling rivalry? Certainly a house divided this Saturday. Guess where I'll be.
Talk about it. Talk to him, Drizzy. Talk that
Book
talk,
the
Drizzy.
hotels, baby. Your boy's going to flipping Indianapolis.
That's gonna be so cool.
This here says, they think they're worried now. Wait till we break out Mark Patterson. They haven't seen him.
They haven't
True
seen
story.
Him. They haven't seen him.
Arguably the greatest intramural athlete.
If we could pull out Mark
ever.
Patterson in Final Four, that would just be the most legendary thing.
Dude, he can ball now. Dude can ball. Like, he kind of gets a joke because he's a walk-on. Dude can ball.
This is, how about for JD? Are we not going to mention Baylor had the most vibrant sneakers, bright pink, neon tangerine, glow-in-the-dark green and yellow. And what Mayer needs, and that Matthew Meyer needs a barber. Mohawks are out of date, but hey, it worked. Good barbecue tonight. Hey.
It was a mullet.
It's a mullet.
It was a mullet.
Mohawk. There's a difference.
You can wear whatever shoes you want. You shoot 8 for 15 from 3. I mean, they better not change shoes next game, because those neon, pink, tangerine, all of that, I mean, it was doing something, because they were 53% from beyond the arc. So I say rock with it.
Check out Scott Drew in the postgame with the full necklace.
Wow. You know that guy.
Dog.
You know that guy's so excited.
Come on, dog.
Baylor Bigfoot, I still see you there.
He looks like the word drip. He looks like the word drip.
I've also got this that we can experience.
Scott Drew, the biggest moment of his coaching career to date. And what does he do? The clock hits 000. He goes, shakes the hand of the opposing coach, says, hey, great game, stoic emotion, and then rallies the rest of his team in the biggest moment of their season and says, hey, let's pray. Talk about a man that you want to follow. Scott Drew is Baylor, and I absolutely love
that doesn't make you tear up. If that doesn't make you emotional, like if that doesn't make you feel something, come on. Come on.
Got Jim Nance on the call, and it's just like.
I'm going to Matthew Meyer's barber this Wednesday. Getting a
give me the Matt Meyer.
I already am. And the barber actually texted me about 15 minutes ago. Was like, hey, love the post-game show. What do you say we do a big BU on the other side? So look, if that's
Rocket and Indy.
Oh boy,
awesome.
Can I do that? Can I be an analyst? Can I walk up to Indy and sit down at a media table with a lightning bolt?
Oh, dude, you would get access. You don't even need credentials at that point. You just walk in. You just walk in. They're like, yeah, give this guy whatever he wants.
Right here.
So we got how about this? We have one Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line guy who's letting us know that he had a donor, a season ticket holder that went to bed early, and had asked him to give him in-game updates, text him in-game updates so he would just read those the next morning. Said he pulled a trick on him. Uh-oh. Davion Mitchell just fouled out. No way we blew an 8-point lead. Oh, Butler's gone. It's getting out of control.
Oh, my gosh.
That's so brutal.
That donor's
that
money
is
may be a little
brutal.
smaller this time around.
This says Final Four, baby. SicEm. This one's sweating when Hogs came back. Macio's triple sealed the win. T-Rex says up-tempo broadcasting live from Indy on Friday and Monday. Make it happen 365. Also, the people need up-tempo swag to wear in Indy. How about this? We're rolling through these quick. First off, even the King LeBron thought it was a foul.
Yeah.
It's in the women's game.
Yeah.
And this simplest way to say the words that sums up the season, it's about damn time.
Wow.
That's so in the nicest way possible. This says SicEm Bears from Kauai, Hawaii. Or is it Kailua? Kailua, Hawaii, 03 to 06. This were listeners from 03 to 06. This says Sunshine. Oh, man, this guy's had a couple of drinks.
Okay.
I see you... This guy's a big fan of yours.
Okay.
He's just a big fan of yours.
I'm
Said you
nervous
look
now.
really good.
I'm nervous
Paul
now.
says, victory in Jesus' first basketball game, 1976 in heart of Texas. Never thought I'd see this. What a great night from PR Blasso. And then how about this? A guy says from Iowa. It's a picture from Iowa, and it's him shaking Scott Drew's hand after a Baylor win. And, man, that means a lot.
That's special.
All right.
That's awesome.
All right. I think I've emotional
That's
enough.
real emotion. That's special, bro. Like
Some
that.
snot.
Like that talks about
Some snot.
like what Baylor is as a whole. Like for you to be emotional on the air, bro. Like that is real life.
1,000
That's
milligrams
good
of
stuff,
caffeine.
man. I love that.
That's
I
a
absolutely
lot.
love that.
That's a lot, man.
Nothing else needs to be
Watching
said.
Jim
after that,
Nance?
man.
Watching
Nothing
Jim
else
Nance
needs to be
do that?
said.
Oh.
Baylor-
All right. What?
Sorry, I just had to emphasize. Baylor literally is the #1 trend in the world right now on Twitter.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Like,
Yeah.
you were saying
on,
that earlier,
bro.
and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's just popping up because that's what you're like. No, it's legit.
Number one in the world.
Come on.
If we went to Ohio State, which is a fine university,
Yeah,
we would be watching other teams play in the Final Four, not caring. But not Armstrong. You and I talked about it. It was if Baylor loses out in the round of 32 of the Sweet 16. Do you care about the rest of the tournament? And there was you do a little bit, but you lose the luster. Hey, not only do we get to keep watching March Madness, we get to keep watching Baylor play. It's so surreal to me. Maceo Teague, Jared Butler, Davion Mitchell, Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua, Matthew Meyer. Those guys will step on the floor and play another basketball game this season.
Oh yeah.
Basketball season's not over. It's not over. They're not leaving. They're not flipping leaving.
And the path they all took to get there. Oh, you go ahead. I said the path they all took to get there. I mean, every one of them is different. From Davion Mitchell being at Auburn, from Maceo T coming from a small school, coming over to Baylor, Jared Butler signing with Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about you can't write this stuff. It is beautifully ordained the way all these guys ended up at Baylor, and it is absolutely for such a time as this.
2 weeks in, Jared Butler's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to Baylor.
I'm leaving.
I'm flipping leaving. About Baylor Bigfoot, we're about close to rounding out our night, my man. It's a night that I don't want to end, but I guess it's got to at some point in time. Baylor Bigfoot, what do you got for us?
Hello?
Yeah, Baylor Bigfoot. You got to be excited, man. What's going on?
Hey, guys. It's Baylor Bigfoot. Double B's on the phone. First-time caller and a first-time listener. This show called Up Tempo.
Yes.
I hope it has great success in the future.
This is Up Tempo. Night mode.
Great, guys.
Night mode.
My
Night
Double
Rider.
R burgers. Thanks to everyone who came out to the meet and greet a couple weeks ago at Double R. I had a lot of fun, got to meet a lot of fans, and got to make a lot of days. So proud of all my fans, and I know they were starstruck to see me at Double R. By the way, JD, I agree with you completely on the fact that you couldn't write a better script for Baylor men's basketball this year.
Thanks, Bigfoot.
Poetic. From a
Anyway,
Bigfoot
guys,
himself.
I just want to talk about the games today. First of all, I wanted to congratulate the refs for moving on to the Final Four in the women's bracket. It's really hard for a team of three, to beat a team of five, but they proved tonight that they are the most unbeatable team left in the tournament. It would be the three refs, not UConn.
A lot of
Just to
firepower.
clarify.
Gino knew, too.
Yeah.
See, Baylor lost Gigi Richards, and they never recovered fully. Hopefully, all those girls come back for another season. I know they will have revenge on their minds.
What do you got on the men's side, Baylor Bigfoot?
To the men's game. What's that?
What do you got on the men's side? What do you got?
What a game. Cheered up. I'm the manliest man ever. The tear absorbed in my skin. I came to Baylor. I could have never imagined that my career at Baylor would inspire the programs to flourish and ultimately have the Bears
becomes the greatest program in the nation. Davion Mitchell was fantastic tonight. His defense was locked down. You might as well call Davion coronavirus because he locked everything down.
Whoa.
Too soon?
Yeah, I mean, we just got a vaccine out here.
Yeah,
you know?
we
It's like it
did.
just got it released. It's not even out for everybody yet.
Come on, guys. Just try to have some levity.
Love it. I love it.
It was awesome. The star of the game in my viewing was Maceo Teague.
Absolutely.
I follow Barbara Brooks Teague for raising a great son and a great man of Christ. Fires Bigfoot Jr. to be his best every day. I remember when Maceo stopped to take a picture with him. That made Junior's life. They will continue to be the dominant team of the basketball season. You know I helped Scott Drew recruit Jared Butler, and I'd like to thank him for his gratitude towards me in the past couple of weeks.
All right, Baylor Bigfoot. Is that Double B's out?
Thank you.
No, not yet. Man,
it should be.
It feels good to be a Baylor Bear tonight.
Yeah.
It feels good. Feels good.
For Double B. Listen. Oh.
Double B's
Hey, man,
out.
Winners do what they want now.
Wow. How about this? We'll get to this last call, and then it looks like we got Aaron. Aaron, is that you? We got you on the Impact Health Labs caller line.
This is Aaron's fiance, T-Rex.
My goodness. He pulled the bait and switch.
Hey, with the switch. Hey, I just want to say, I want to wrap up the night. Great night. I hope you go to school in the morning, Drake.
Nope.
Don't miss class. We don't want you to be a
Got a 95 on my math test today. I can do whatever I want.
Hey, well, you know what? What you should do is buy some Nike Volt gear to give to Armstrong, because when Baylor basketball wins the national championship, I am decking him out head to toe in Nike Volt, and there's nothing that the Armstrong Army can do about it.
Pew, pew, pew. Volt gear.
I love that.
All right, SicEm Bears, guys, have a great night. I love y'all. Seriously, I really hope I see y'all in Indy. If not,
you'll see me.
I may shed a tear, but it won't fall into my beer, because come 3:45 p.m. on Thursday when I take off from Love Field, I won't be sober till Tuesday morning as a national champion. SicEm Bears.
All right. Hey, let's fly together. You can stick me in your suitcase. That would save me a lot of money, and then I'll stay in your Airbnb. Just give me the laundry room. That's all I poor college kid here.
It's a pretty good deal.
How about this? All right, we're getting to the end of the show. Shutting down the call line. This right here says, "Hey JD, you drove through Chick-fil-A with Scott Drew before the year. Do you think that's the momentum for the win tonight? Do you think the plan to drive through Chick-fil-A with him before next season?"
That's a whole lot of credit. I actually did it. I guess it was before last season.
It's before the
then
tournament,
the pandemic hit,
You know,
so maybe
right.
that was bad luck. But I don't think I can take any credit for the way that went down. But credit to Cole Barber for setting that up.
Yeah, folks that are on the that are still watching us out there, thanks for sticking with us tonight. You know, tonight history was made. I just want to address history for a second.
Yeah.
Consider yourself made.
Yep.
This win is something that you will tell your kids about, that you will tell your grandkids about. Maybe you are telling your kids and your grandkids about it. And for those that haven't yet, I've just buckle down and get ready. This is a memory that you will forever remember where you were the night that Baylor made the Final Four.
And for a team like Baylor, for the way that they just had a bullseye on their back the entire, not just this tournament, but the entire season, Baylor was getting everybody's best shot. And for them to not crumble under those expectations, but to almost, get better as the season wore on, as the tournament wore on. They're playing their best basketball right now. That speaks to culture, that speaks to coaching, that speaks to players, maturity, depth. All those things are coming together at the right time. I couldn't say it any better than you, Drizzy. History.
Ma'am.
Consider yourself made.
Grinning Bear, Armstrong says, looking forward to the Matt Zimmerman segment tomorrow. That's funny. That's funny, Armstrong. That's funny. Did you get it? It's the Grinning Bear said, looking forward to the Matt Zimmerman segment tomorrow.
I don't know that I get that.
I need
Should I get
That's
that?
good.
We need him back on for sure.
No, I'll explain it off the air. Cool. It's an inside joke. How about this, though? Guys, as we close it down, I want to say thank you to everybody that hung on with us tonight, watched the post-game show. You not only watched part of history, but you're a part of history by just being with us. This is something that was not a reality last year. This is something that wasn't a reality last season. And so from all of us at SicEm365, the ability to bring this to you is something that we cherish and really are thankful for, because you make this what it is. And I want to say, on behalf of myself, thank you for being with us tonight, being a part of history. SicEm365.com is the place to be for everything. Baylor men's basketball, football, baseball, women's basketball, you name it, they've got it. SicEm365 has you covered. Up-tempo?
Up-tempo, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., baby.
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. SicEm365 Radio's afternoon show from 3 to 6 every day. Always, daily, weekdays, bringing you the content, daily content that matters to Baylor. So, listen, it's 12:23 local time.
We're a morning show now. We always want to be a morning show.
We always did want to be a morning show.
Here we are. We're
that
a
was
morning
the dream,
show, man.
That was the dream. Golly. Sleep in a little bit tomorrow. Call your boss. Tell him you're sick. Call your boss. Tell him you're going to be sick next Tuesday, too, because Baylor's going to be winning the national championship next Monday. But enjoy this. Don't go to bed too soon. Enjoy this, Baylor Nation, because these moments don't come around too often for anybody out there. And you got it tonight. You got it tonight. You got a Baylor Final Four. Something that hasn't happened in the modern era, and we're all here for it. Thank you for being part of this.
It's been special, man.
How about...
I hear that music coming.
I knew you'd get it. I
Music's
knew
coming.
you'd get it. Crank it up, baby. I'm Drake Toll. That's J.D. Pickell. The Baylor men's basketball team is headed to the Final Four for the first time since 1950. Party like you're in the 50s, folks. We're keeping it rolling in Indy. I'm Drake Toll. That's J.D. Pickell. Armstrong Sims. Your Baylor Bears, they're still dancing, folks. This right here has not been up-tempo. It will be in the morning. I guess it's been up-tempo enough. This has been the SicEm365 Radio post-game show. Thanks for sticking around with us, and we'll see you at 11 bells in the morning.